Now, the cure for feeling sorry for yourself is service. If you're watching this right now, maybe you're going through a tough time. I know that, like with my dad, it's been a tough time. And I shared this story on a different Thrive episode, but it's phenomenal. On the day that we found out some bad news about my dad's cancer, another guy who works in our office, his father had passed away at the exact time that where I'm finding out about his dad was in great health and he just dies. Well, that's not fun. It's tough. This young man has the psychological awareness, the cognitive awareness, the mental fortitude, the attitude, the whole package, enough to call me to say that he's not coming into work for the day because his father has passed away. And how's my father doing? Are you kidding me? So here he was at the bottom. I'm sure he felt horrible. I'm sure it's still tough. But he cured himself by asking how we're doing. Now, his crazy sister who works on our team here, and they bring by alkaline water for my father who's dealing with cancer, and that's a great way to treat that is with alkaline water. It's the service. And I see this family, it's like they're not going to be victims, they're going to be victors, So in your career, how have you been able to cure yourself from feeling sorry with service? What's an example of how you've done that in your career?
Well, you're really looking at what I call the end result of that person's efforts, his or her life, and you like what you see. And because you like what you see, you start traveling back to see what they've done to get that. And you begin to look at those actions and say, I like this outcome, but in order to get this outcome, I'm going to have to travel back to get a sense of what they did, how frequently they did it, what their attitude was while they were doing it, and you began to get somewhat of a pattern of what brings about those outcomes that you want. So you began to keep that person in your viewfinder. You began to say, well, I may not do it exactly the same way they do it, but I like that action, and I'm going to bring that into my life as well.
You're a white-collar, tie-wearing guy. You've always wanted to dress sharp and work in a professional environment starting in the cotton fields.
You remembered that, didn't you?
Yeah. But that's something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I know that when I met you, it's a spark in my mind. I was like, I get asked to do speaking events all the time. People ask me to come teach them how to start a company, but it never occurred to me to really write a book. And then through watching you do it, I remember asking you, well, when do you write yours? And you told me something. You said, well, when I'm in a hotel, if I'm traveling, I'll write then, or I'll write, and I try to, you kind of laid out how you wrote. And then I asked you about how you maintain this great relationship with your wife, Barbara. And how long have you guys been married now?
40 years.
Yeah, so I was asking,
that's a long time.
And Barbara just turned 27, so it's kind of a weird deal. She exfoliates a lot. That's how she keeps her youthful complexion. But in all sincerity, though, I looked at you as a guy who's written a best-selling book, been a best-selling business, been successful in this, you've been successful in that, you started a bank, your life's been made into a movie, success, success, success. But I also look at him, good dad, good husband. So to me, I started to try to emulate what you have done, just little nuances, and tried to incorporate those into what I do. And I think we all need to do that more.
That to me is the, I look at people helping people, being on this planet and realizing that everyone brings something to the table. And it's like a smorgasbord of opportunity within the human family, and picking those things that best suit your appetite for the moment and that can help you get what you need and move further than where you thought you could.